This is March 19th, and this is today's Daily Doom.
America, America.
All right. Here we go. All right. Check it out. All right. Here we are. It's America. We are tearing up some more people, right? Yeah. It's went to Fox News' page here, and today I've discovered. Look at this! Today is March 19th. Today is the 8th anniversary of going after Iraq, and mission, success, right? We have mission accomplished, right? Oh wait, well, oh yeah, we're still there, aren't we? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. We're still there. So anyways, yeah, so I go to Fox News today and take a look at their site. I rarely do this, but I wanted to see what was going on because I had a sneaking suspicion that this was the case, and it is. So, okay, we're going to smack around Libya right now, right? Well, what's been on everybody's mind the past few days, right? Has it been the fact that that we're going to go smack around them? No. What the news has been on in our mind is that, oh yeah, we got this nuclear stuff going down over in Japan. What about that? What's going on over there? Let's see here. Let's find some news about that. Oh, look at that. Oh, here's a little bit. Here's a little bit of it. Oh, okay. Japan, radiation in milk. Oh yeah, very interesting. Oh, okay. Cyber scammers. Right. So it's very interesting that it almost seems like the radiation issue is sort of going away, at least in mainstream news. Obviously, the effects of it are not going away because they have not stopped those plants. Those plants are still going over there, and the relief efforts on that stuff is very difficult. But you know what? Let's not talk about it, and it'll go away, right? So this is one thing that is interesting that I didn't know about until just a few moments ago. But apparently, let's see here. This was the day the article was, but apparently today, March 19th, is called the Eve of Ostara. And the Ostara is actually an interesting time. It's some pagan holiday that's all about fertility and all kinds of interesting stuff. Do some research on that, but apparently there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into that and bloodshed, and so it's a very interesting time that the date is actually a day where lots of war goes on. Lots of sacrifices are going on right now at that time. I just find that was a little bit peculiar. I wanted to share that with you. I don't know much about that at all, but wanted to share that. Another thing going on is 50 mortar shells fired into Israel. So we're going to have the Palestinians. They're going after Israel now. We got Libya. We're going after them. Obviously, we're still in Iraq. We're still, fighting wars all over the place. We have armies stationed in 150 countries across the world. The U.S. government does, and so it's just very, very interesting about that. And what's being missed right now is that, oh yeah, so all this stuff's going on, but what about that radiation stuff? So I found this link here. This is from I believe it's a French meteorologist site, and so it's kind of interesting. It is in French, so I don't know what all the words are, but here's the map of the radiation from Fukushima. So if we take a look at this, we do a time lapse over time. This is like the 13th, the 14th, now we're into the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th. That's the day, right? That's in a couple of days from now. And that's the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th. So look at that. So, that's just interesting to see how that stuff's going out. Now, obviously, radiation has a half-life time, and so it's not going to be as potent when it gets here. However, it's just very interesting. This is stuff that's not being talked about a lot right now. And so I found this article, this infographic, which I find is very helpful. I think you guys will find this helpful as well. It's at xkcd.com/radiation. Go there, take a look at this. I'm not an expert, obviously, in nuclear physics. I don't know a lot about radiation. All I know is what the research that we've been doing here recently. But an absorbed dose of radiation is called a sievert, and this measures the effect of a dose of radiation will have on the cells of a body. One sievert all at once will make you sick, and too many sieverts all at once will kill you. And we safely absorb small amounts of natural radiation all the time. And so these are some of the examples of the sieverts. And so I don't think that it's worth being all scared and scared shitless right now. That's not what we need. We need calmness. And just look at this. I mean, seriously, sleeping next to someone, you're going to get 0.05 microsieverts. And then coming down here, we can see what this is. So this is 0.05. This is a microsievert. And all of these equals 20 microsieverts. Okay? All of these right here equal 10 millisieverts. And all of these right here equal 1 sievert. So you can see here that, just by looking at this, using a CRT monitor for a year is equal to 1 microsievert. And so, a lot of us have used those for a long time. I actually use a flat panel now, but hard to say. I haven't read over all of this here, but it's really interesting to sort of see. So this is a maximum yearly dose permitted for U.S. radiation workers, 50 millisieverts. And here's some of this stuff down here. A fatal dose, 8 sieverts. Radiation, 1-year dose limit, 50 millisieverts. Lowest 1-year dose linked to increased cancer risk. So we're going to be a long ways away before we get down into this orange and we're getting lots of sieverts. We're going to get lots of microsieverts, small doses of this stuff. Don't be too alarmed on it. It's going to be interesting to sort of see it and see how it all plays out. But don't get too scared. Again, keep your heart in the right place. Keep love in your heart. Be calm. Have integrity. Be calm, cool, collected. This is really important. We need this right now because, I firmly believe that we chose to be here at this time. We all are on this earth at this time through some choice that we made and saying, you know what, we're going into a whole new age. This is a very, very interesting time here on earth. So let's be love. Let's not be ridiculous. One thing I was so proud of for Japan in this whole tragedy is if you noticed in Japan, all the crazy stuff that was going on there and all the doom that's going on over there in Japan, but they're not having riots. They're not having looting. They're not having lots of violence. Can you imagine what that will be like when we have America, if America goes through one of these tragic problems? So we're going to have to be calm. We have to be the rock. We have to be the ones who are strong. We can't rely on our government to be strong for us because there's going to be other people around us who are going to be very crazy and freaking out. So we have to be the rock. And you know what? When it's our time to go, it's our time to go. That's okay. Energy does not die. We know this. Energy does not die. Our body is energy. We're going to move on to some other level. We probably don't even understand how it's going to go. There's a lot of different religious beliefs on what happens in the afterlife, but you know what? We move on in some way, right? There's a lot of arguments and disagreement about how and which way and which religion works well and which one's right and this and that. And we go to wars over who's right and who's wrong, prime example right here. Who's right? Who's wrong? Well, let's go to war about it. My missile's bigger than yours. But that doesn't matter. In the grand scheme of things, that doesn't matter. But, keep in mind, there's really that radiation is a dangerous thing. So you want to help protect yourself. This is an article that I found here on the Nuclear Information Resource Service. It's a PDF, no safe dose. I think some of this stuff, you really have to research this stuff on your own. Don't take anything at face value. Don't take anything that you hear or read at face value. You want to keep learning and researching on your own because you can't rely on the mainstream media to feed you what you need to know. If you're sitting down and the only news that you get is from Fox News and from CNN, you're probably scared out of your mind because they're fear mongers, right? So we need more love mongers, and I'm a love monger. And I'm a peace monger. And so that's what I'm all about. And so I want more people to be with me on this. I want people to be aware that there's things that we can do to sort of help, protect ourselves and prepare. You know what? And when our time's time to go, our time's time to go. That's the way it is. I did find this interesting right here, the secret of French clay. And what she learned from the Soviets. This is Dr. Janet Starr Hull. She had something called Graves' disease, I believe it was called. Yeah, Graves' disease, an incurable thyroid disease at age 36. And so she used this right here. And this has a lot of different compounds that helped her detoxify. It has magnesium, calcium, potassium, manganese, phosphorus, etc., etc., etc. Microalgae, kelp. Kelp is very good in this time for protection against radiation, if it is the uranium type of radiation. Unfortunately, in the reactor number 3, I've read that that's actually plutonium MOX fuel, MOX fuel. And so, you know what? Who knows what's going to happen? We can't freak out about it. All that's going to do is just accelerate the stress and accelerate the craziness going on. So let's keep calm, cool, collected. Let's rock and roll. One thing though that I do want to leave you guys with today, and I want to share this with you. And this right here is a speech by President Eisenhower, and the video here quality is not wonderful, but it's well enough for you to get the gist of this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. We now stand 10 years past the midpoint of a century that has witnessed 4 major wars among great nations. Until the latest of our world conflicts, the United States had no armaments industry. American makers of plowshares could, with time and as required, make swords as well. But we can no longer risk emergency improvisation of national defense. We have been compelled to create a permanent armaments industry of vast proportions. Added to this, 3.5 million men and women are directly engaged in the defense establishment. Now, this conjunction of an immense military establishment and a large arms industry is new in the American experience. The total influence, economic, political, even spiritual, is felt in every city, every state house, every office of the federal government. We recognize the imperative need for this development, yet we must not fail to comprehend its grave implications. Our toil, resources, and livelihood are all involved. So is the very structure of our society. In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes. We should take nothing for granted. Only an alert and knowledgeable citizenry can compel the proper meshing of the huge industrial and military machinery of defense with our peaceful methods and goals, so that security and liberty may prosper together.
Yeah. So, what do we have going on here? What have we had for, a long time?